Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me. And today we are covering the actual craft time mod. This one is very much a quality of life mod, I would say, but it's an excellent one. One that's going to probably save you a lot of math and headache potentially, and actually allow you to calculate very specific exact craft rates and craft times. So what this does is when you have this mod installed and you click on assembler, or it works with refineries as well as furnaces and a rocket silo, and I believe chemical plants as well, we can test. It will give you an additional GUI window that gives you information in regards to craft time, and I will display that in a second. But one thing I want to mention first is usually how I calculate craft time, how quite a few people calculate it. If you've watched my videos, you'll know this. Since machines have different speeds, like a level 1 machine is a different speed than a level 2, which is different than a level 3. I usually base my ratios and stuff off of base craft rate, which is what is displayed on the recipe. So like red science packs, for example, take 5 seconds to craft. So I base my ratios on this, meaning that I will build 5 assemblers to try to get 1 per second, even though I'm not realistically getting 1 per second, like if I'm using level 1 machines, because they're slower than that. They're half speed, which for these are pretty easy to calculate, but for blue assemblers, they're 0.75, and level 3 assemblers are 1.25. It gets a little bit more complicated, but this should help you out a lot, this mod. So if we click on something, you do need to have a recipe set. If we click on this, it gives you this additional GUI here, and it's going to give you some very helpful information. It's going to give you ingredients, products, and the recipe. So the recipe is obviously red science packs here. It says automation science pack, set, reset recipe, or add, remove modules. Then click here to refresh. So if we were to change something, we could refresh it. And this is displaying the actual time it's taking to craft. Okay, this is not the time the normal recipe takes, because obviously, as we know, this takes 5 seconds. However, we're in a level 1 machine, which is a 0.5 craft speed, meaning half the speed, so it takes 10 seconds. And that's what it's displaying for us here. And this is saying how many ingredients we consume per second, how many we output per second. So, if you want to calculate specifically based on level 1 assemblers, you would need 10 of these for 1 per second, right? If we're making 0.1 a second. And you can easily adjust this. You can decrease by 1, increase by 1, or by 5 and by 5. And then by other increments such as 231 and 25. I'm not quite sure why there's those increments, but if we go ahead and increase this to say, let's increase this to say 12 assemblers, this is how much it's going to consume a second. This is how much we'll get a second. You can also switch this to minute rates, which can be quite good. However, if we take a look at, say, this, we could reduce this down to 1 again to see the difference. So this is a level 3 assembler, which may not initially, if you're a math whiz, or maybe you're just way better at math than me. Maybe I'm horrible at math. But for me, I can't instantly calculate how much, how many packs I'm going to get a minute based on this exact craft speed of 1.25. It's not 1 or 1/2, so it's a little more difficult, at least for me. But this will tell you, this takes 4 seconds. And it takes this many ingredients per second and outputs basically a quarter 0.25 of a science pack a second. So we need 4 of these for 1 a second. Okay. Now this will change with modules and stuff. So if we fill, say, for example, this with modules and then click here, you can see it did update it, and it now takes 2.22 seconds. And all these change as well. So if we go to a minute rate, this one assembler will give us 108 a minute. And consume 108 of each of these a minute, etc. Works exactly the same for other buildings, such as refineries. This is showing you ingredients, how much it's consuming if we go to a per second. So the time of this is 5 seconds, but again, the refinery has a craft speed of 1, so that makes sense. Ingredients, 10 and 20 a second, just as, if you break that down here. And then this is how much you get a second if you switch this to minutes. Same thing. You can up this just as you can with anything else and switch between them. Same with chemical plants, I believe. So solid fuel. There we go. Even a rocket silo, if we switch to a rocket silo. So this is how many of these it's consuming It's saying, so this is the recipe, and then this is how much it's consuming a second. It's how much we're getting a second. If we go to a minute, maybe for this, a minute is more realistic. 200 a minute, 200 a minute, 200 a minute, and we get 20 of these a minute, so it would take theoretically 5 minutes. We need 100 of these to make a rocket. So, you can increase this for more silos, and then for furnaces, you need to insert ore. You actually need to have a recipe going. So if we put, say, this in here and this in here, we can see the difference. This is, not very much here. If we switch to a second, it's basically a third a second. So we can see here how much it's giving, and then this one, of course, is twice the speed. So it's giving twice as much, 37.5 on both accounts compared to the 18.75. And then the electric furnace is also double the speed, so it's going to be the same. If we switch this to something else, like stone, we just need to click this, and it will change it. Obviously, stone is a little bit different because it actually takes 2 stone to make a stone brick, so that's why this is double. But there we go. So that's the mod, guys. Pretty straightforward. When you open a machine, any of these machines, it'll show you. And it's just really nice. If you want to calculate exactly based on the craft speed of the machine for everything, rather than doing that in your head every time, that's the reason I don't do it per machine, like on the actual machine's craft speed, because I don't want to do that in my head. But with this mod, maybe I'll start using this and actually figuring out ratios that way, because this makes it significantly easier. So there you go. That's a mod, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If we just really quickly take a look at the settings, there are just a couple here. Actual craft time GUI location, you can change this to top or left. I'm not sure where left would be, probably just over here. Actual craft time slider. This is actual craft. So this is I would assume maybe a simpler amount. Actual craft time simple text check shows less words in the GUI, so they actually want this checked. And then actual craft time slider sensitivity, 1 to 10, higher numbers may be better. This may not improve anything. So we can confirm this is a player setting, which means we can just do it on the fly here. If we click this, it really seems to be about the same. So there you go. But those are the settings, not too many. Obviously, it doesn't require research. And there you go. So link in the description to the mod portal page where you can check this out. If you're interested, I highly recommend it. It's an excellent quality of life mod, I think, and something that I think should be in the actual game. So there we go. Take care, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, thoughts, leave below. And if you did enjoy and found it helpful, a like is much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Keep up with all the new content. And until next time, look forward to seeing you all. Do take care.